Hello, everyone. I'll start off with a brief introduction of myself. My name is Craig Taylor. I am the founder of Proact Media Relations. I am also a student at Full Sail University, pursuing a master's degree in public relations with an expected graduation date of late July 2025. I will briefly go over my client that I'll be discussing today. They are Tri-Cities Tumble and Cheer. Locally, however, they're known as TCA. So that's how I'll be referring to them today as TCA. So TCA is a competitive cheer gym in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. They've been operating in the Shoals area for over a decade. The gym accepts students between the ages of 3 and 20 years old. Students have the option of learning tumbling skills in the gym or expanding their involvement in the process by participating in the gym's competitive cheer season, which takes the teams to several locations for competitions throughout the southeastern United States. TCA uses a class system wherein students can participate in programs tailored either to specific ages or skills or both. This ensures that each student gets exactly the instruction they need at their level of readiness. So the research that I conducted for my client this time around focused mainly on a local competitor gym known as CCA. It's just in the neighboring town of Florence, about 15 minutes away from my client's location. There's another gym nearby CCA, known as Geronimo. However, I didn't focus on them too much because they um, focus more on the gymnastics aspect of the sport, whereas CCA is more closely aligned with TCA. So CCA, like I said, is nearby my client's location, about 15 minutes away. They teach essentially the same skills. They have a similar class structure. However, during my research, this was the main difference that I discovered between my client and CCA. So CCA sticks with a class schedule that is more not diverse, however, more there are more options. They have more class options. They're able to get more. They have more instructors and a larger facility, and therefore they're able to pack more classes into a the same amount of time. This allows them to drive their prices lower than my client TCA. And so in my research with CCA, it was really about discovering how to justify that price difference, which I did mention in the frequently asked questions and our key messages for TCA that we came up with. So TCA's target market consists of mothers of children aged 3 to 20. These are often parents with a limited amount of disposable income just based on the average income of the area. The majority of those residing in the Muscle Shoals area are of the Christian faith as well. So this makes TCA's target market Christian mothers of school-aged children. While most of TCA students come to TCA near the lower end of the age range, so near the 3 to 5 year age, there are rare cases where students find the gym through word of mouth, either at church or in school or something like that. And in those cases, they typically discover the gym in their mid-teens, so relatively still early on. So TCA does hold a secondary market, either of those children or of their parents as well. So the strategy for TCA's marketing campaign, which is titled "Why Do You Tumble?" This campaign will utilize a variety of tools to succeed. The majority of these tools will be based around the power of a few select social media platforms. These platforms are Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. So the tactics for Why Do You Tumble? The campaign will utilize the specific features of each of its three chosen social media platforms, really focusing on what makes each one unique. On TikTok, for instance, we'll use short videos showcasing various tumble skills, i.e., the back handspring. This will help show what a tumble athlete can really do. Meanwhile, regular updates about gym activities on Facebook and cross posting from TikTok and Instagram onto Facebook, where we get a lot of our traffic, will help draw in and attract an older crowd. Um, Instagram, we will use what we're calling athlete showcases, which will hone in on individual athletes with either still images or short videos, mainly focusing on a caption describing, the athlete's tenure at the gym, their accomplishments, maybe some hobbies, things like that, to really humanize each athlete in their own and show the uniqueness of the athletes that make up our teams. So TCS campaign will hit upon its core message, which is inclusivity and individuality through sport. Highlighting students in regular posts while also sharing team routines will help define the sport of competitive cheer while promoting the idea of the ability of unique athletes to contribute to a winning team. So, as a method of effectively disseminating the core messages associated with TCA's PR campaign, we have developed several key messages which help to clarify the aforementioned theme. Here are a few examples of those messages. TCA has a vested interest in fostering a love of athletics for young people in the Muscle Shoals area and beyond, and in enacting its campaign is enacting its campaign as a continuation of that effort. There's also that TCA recognizes that competitive cheer as an industry is experiencing rapid growth and is applying its campaign at a strategic point within, with a specific focus of positioning itself advantageously within that growth. Significant progress has been made toward the implementation of Why Do You Tumble. Posting plans for each of the three aforementioned social media platforms have been developed. Again, really focusing on the aspect of each of the three aforementioned social media platforms and what makes each unique, really trying to harness each platform and really sort of milk it for all it's worth. Moreover, the crisis plans. So we have developed the crisis committee laid out roles for each of the person that's going to be on the committee, each of the people that are going to be on the committee, and also acquired some crisis materials and decided who was going to be in charge of those materials and things like that. However, despite our progress, there's still a lot that needs to be accomplished. The bulk of this work will be in my communication with the TCA staff about exactly how they would like that content that is going to be pushed out via the Why Do You Tumble campaign, exactly how they would like that to look. And lastly, really going through each of the athletes, finding out who wants to be featured, if it's feasible given their schedules. A lot of these kids are still in school actively. Well, not right now. They're on their summer break, but as the program begins to roll out and really starts to make headway, um, will these kids even be able to, really contribute as they would like to? So finding the athletes that want to, finding the athletes that can, and finding out how each athlete can contribute and how we can utilize each athlete's unique personality.